Welcome, dear students, to Pen and Paper Chemistry. We are going to cover the answers to the Smiley Challenge on IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds, which I posted last week, giving you enough time to attempt the questions. So let's get started. For those who have not attempted this worksheet, why not give it a try before you go on to see the answers that I'm going to give you? Because there is no, you can't really memorize the nomenclature. It's all understanding the rules. You go by the rules, and for that, I have posted a separate set of 5 videos on IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds. It's in the playlist IUPAC nomenclature on the channel. So let's get started with the naming of the first compound. Now, if you see, anybody can get intimidated by this big compound. How do I name it? So what do I do? First and foremost, let's select the longest continuous chain. Please remember, it's not necessary that chain has to be straight, but it has to be continuous. So I select the longest chain of the carbon atoms here, right? So that gives me a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So can you tell me what will be the parent alkane over here? What will be the parent compound? Yes, absolutely, because it's 10, so dec, right? So let's have the first part of the compound, and moreover, is it saturated or unsaturated? Saturated, so I will have ane. Now I have got the word root in place and the primary suffix in place. Now what do I need? I need the prefixes. Now it's not a cyclic compound, so I'm not going to write the word cyclo. What are we left with is now the substituents, 1, 2, 3 and this fourth one. How do I number it? I'm going to follow the lowest locant rule because all of them are substituents over here, right? Anything other than the side chain. Now, if I number it from the left hand side, I'll get 1, 2, 3. So my first locant is position as at position number 3. Whereas if I number it from the right hand side, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Oh, look at that. 4 is bigger than 3. So which is the smaller number? We know our maths, right? So our smaller number is 3. So we start numbering it from the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and we have here 10. Now what are the substituents that you can see? Let me write them down first. So I've got 3. At the third position, we have ethyl. At the 7th position, we have methyl. At the 4th position, also we have methyl. Methyl, methyl. So 2 methyl are there. How can I represent 2 methyl together? Yes, by calling it as dimethyl. So what have we got over here? We can, instead of writing 7 methyl and 4 methyl, I can write it as 4, 7, a hyphen and a dimethyl. So our ethyl is taken care of, methyl is taken care of. Now how do I name this part? You see, this is a chain with another set of side chains. So branches to branches, right? How do we name it? There are 2 different ways that you can name it as. You can either call it as tertiary butyl. Again, there are a lot of students who face confusion in N, iso, neo, primary, secondary, tertiary. Again, I've made a separate video on this topic. Please go through that. So either I can name it as tertiary butyl group, but the T will not be considered in alphabetical order. What do I mean by this alphabetical order? We will talk about it. So 4 tertiary butyl, right? Or the other way that I can represent it is I will name the other chain again. So 1 and 2. This side chain has got ethyl as the parent group, ethane, right? And that becomes an alkyl because it itself is not independent, it's attached to a main chain. So this becomes ethyl. At the first carbon I've got methyl, at the first carbon I've got methyl. So how do I name it as? I will call it as 1,1 dimethyl ethyl. And to what position is it attached? Yes, it is attached to position number 4. So in order to avoid the confusion between numbers, I will put 4 outside the brackets. Now comes the next challenge. How am I going to put them together? They are all of these are my prefixes. How do I arrange the prefixes? We arrange them in alphabetical order. For that alphabetical order, if you are writing it as tertiary butyl, you will take B as the first alphabet and not T, right? Except if it was iso, then we would consider it in alphabetical order. Otherwise, we ignore this, the terms like neo, secondary, tertiary, these are not considered for the alphabet. Now see the first alphabet of all of them. So I've got here dimethyl, I've got E for ethyl, and here again I've got dimethyl ethyl, or you can say tertiary butyl. So, and I'm going to club this with the word root. So let me name it now. So if you take it as tertiary butyl, we have it as 4 tertiary butyl or T-butyl, 3-ethyl. Notice over here, between the number and the alphabet, there are hyphens. Between two numbers, there are commas. These rules have been thoroughly explained in specific videos on nomenclature. So we have 4 tertiary butyl, 3-ethyl, 4,7-dimethyl. Now it is not that D will come before E, because we are not going to consider the D for the alphabetical order. We'll take the M for the alphabetical order, because my actual side chain or substituent is M, methyl, not D. Dimethyl is no substituent. It means 2 methyl groups, followed by the word root and the primary suffix. So this becomes a decane. Or if you are writing it as a branch to a branch, we will write it as 3-ethyl, 4, again a hyphen, 1,1-dimethyl ethyl, 4,7-dimethyl decane. Now here I was also confused, because this is also methyl, this is also methyl ethyl. So what comes first? So I've taken it according to the E over here, dimethyl ethyl, dimethyl decane, right? Now if you got this right, what are you going to give yourself? That's smiley number 1, right, for today. That's why I called it as smiley challenge. Now some discounts over here. Supposing you've got the substituents right, but you have gone amiss in the order in which you have written, that's okay. It's the first question, so we'll give you a discount, so you can give yourself a smiley. Yes, I like that smile on your face. Question number 2. If you've not named it already, please try naming it. Okay, now the question comes, what are you going to prioritize? So, okay, let me first highlight the main chain over here. So, obviously, we will have this chain wherein I have got the substituent as well as the multiple bond covered as part of the chain. Okay, now I have got a choice between giving a lower number to the multiple bond or to the alkyl group. Should I number it from 1, 2, 3? or should I number it as 1, 2, 3? Now, if you see over here, if you remember, I had also given you the rule FDTS. So, functional group, double bond, triple bond, and substituent. Also, if you notice, if I start numbering it from the right hand side, lower locant. So, here, this gets position number 2. So, let's get going. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this compound becomes, at the 4th position, we've got methyl. So, my word root would be hex. It's got a triple bond between carbon number 2 and 3. So, we denote it by the smaller of the two numbers, so 2-ine, and at the 4th position we have got methyl. That's my prefix, right? Join these two parts and you have the name. Because it's a name, let's write it with a capital letter, for methyl hex 2-ine. Please remember, IUPAC name is written as a single word. Only hyphen separating the number and the alphabet wherever it is, either before or after there's a hyphen, whereas between two numbers there's always a comma, right? Okay, so you got it right, and there goes the second smiley of the day. Question number 3. So which is my longest chain going to be? So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the longest possible that I have over here is 1, 2, 3, right? I can take it like this. I can take it curved as well. So this becomes my simplest thing. Now let's number it. So 1, 2, and 3. Whether I number it from left hand side or right hand side, the substituent still comes on position number 2. So if I number 1, 2, and 3, so doesn't make a difference. If you have numbered it as 1, 2, 3, then also it's correct. If you've numbered it as 1, 2, 3, then it is correct. But supposing you have numbered it as 1, 2, 3, and 4, no, it is not correct. Why is it not correct? Because now this is not a continuous chain, right? We always talk about the continuous chain of carbon atoms. So now name this compound. So 3 carbon atoms in the main chain. So my word root becomes prop. It is saturated, so ane. At the second position, I have got 2 methyl groups. To avoid confusion, I'm going to rub out these numbers. At the second position, I've got methyl groups and there are 2 of them. So this becomes 2,2-dimethyl. And I'm now going to join them to give me the final name of this compound, 2,2-dimethyl propane. Right, it's one word. So were you able to get the third smiley of the day? Good. If you didn't get, all the more better, because that means you will be learning from your mistakes and you'll come out happy after giving a test on IUPAC nomenclature, right? Now let's come to the 4th one. Now in the 4th one, I could have the chain as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This becomes my longest continuous chain, right? But what are we ignoring over here? We are ignoring the CH2OH, which we cannot at any cost. That has to come in the chain. And because it's a functional group, I will try to give it the least number possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have this as one option. The other is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've got now 5 compared to the 6 that I was getting in the previous one. So what do I do now? So let me highlight the longest continuous chain. Yes, I said it at the beginning also. It need not be straight. It's how I have written it. It's how I have represented it. But it has to be continuous. Now I have to number it. I'll try to give the lowest number possible to the functional group. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that means now at the second position, what have I got? Have I got methyl? No, it's got C2H5. You see, this whole group is C2H5, this combined group. So what is this C2H5 group? Yes, it's ethyl. So at the second position, I have got ethyl. At the fourth position, I have got methyl. So 4-methyl. And what is the parent word root over here? Parent carbon chain? Yes, it is 6. So 6 means hex. Correct? Saturated, unsaturated? It's saturated. So ane. Now I have to write the 2-ethyl and 2,4-methyl as prefixes. And how am I going to do it? Yes, very good. We are going to name it in the alphabetical order. And there we go. So we have over here 2-ethyl, 4-methyl, and let's join the hexane to the methyl, because as we said earlier, IUPAC name is a single word. Right? Is that right? Have I missed out anything? Yes. I am missing out the secondary suffix. You see over here, there's the OH. Please do not forget that. So what have we got over here? Rub out the E and this becomes all, hexanol. So please remember, we have the primary prefix, we have the secondary prefix, we have the word root, we have the primary suffix, we have the secondary suffix. So primary prefix is your words like cyclo. Secondary prefix are your halo, alkyls, all these. The word root gives you the number of carbon atoms in the main chain. Primary suffix ane, ene, ine, whether it is saturated or unsaturated. And secondary suffix is the functional group. So whenever you are naming an organic compound, these 5 parts are there. If it's a straight chain compound, then obviously the word cyclo is done away with, right? We don't need to bother about it much. But the rest of the parts, so please make sure that everything is in place. Let me remove this from here so that you have a clearer understanding of the name of the compound, right? So needless to ask, did you get a smiley here? Wonderful. If you made the small error, it's like, oh no teacher, I took the 5 carbon chain as the main chain. So supposing you took this chain as the main chain by mistake. It's okay. This is not your finals. It's just a preparation. You are still learning. So many times I have made mistakes. And we all should learn from our mistakes rather than feel sorry about them. Right? Okay, let's get going with the next one. You can see it on your screen. So supposing you haven't attempted, why don't you attempt it with me? Go ahead. The name of this compound number 5, is 2,3-dimethyl-butanamine. You notice over here, you are not going to give a number to nitrogen because our base chain, the backbone of organic chemistry, is the carbon atoms, right? So we are going to give them number. They are our guests of honor. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also do 1, 2, 3, 4. Even that is acceptable. But you have to take the longest continuous chain. So in the prefix, we get here methyl and a methyl. So both, one is at position number 2 and 3. So 2, 3, and there are 2 methyl groups. So don't forget the di over here, dimethyl. Butane, because it's a saturated compound, and amine is the the secondary suffix. Right. Okay. Good going so far. Now question number 6. Again, if you notice, the confusion is this going to be my parent or is this going to be my parent chain? Whenever the side chain has a functional group, that becomes the parent chain. Please remember that. So what I have got over here is this is my parent chain. And I have to number it in such a way so that my functional group gets the lowest number possible. So 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and name this compound. How are you going to name this particular group? Yes, it's C6H5, and C6H5 would be phenyl. Go ahead and write it now. It's a substituent. So how are you going to write it, as prefix or suffix? So this becomes 2-phenyl propanol. When I do not specify the position of the ul, it means position number 1. Now here a small warning. Please be very careful when you are writing AL and OL, because I recently checked a student's notebook and they had written it like this. And they were expecting me to put it was actually like this. They were expecting me to give a mark here. You see over here, it's AL or OL. Tell me, what will you read this as? So be very careful when you are writing. A little bit neat handwriting would go a long way in getting you good marks as well as keeping the confusions at bay. If you've got this right, oh, we forgot to give the smiley for the previous one. Yes, please, a smiley here. And if you got this one right, a smiley here. So we have tried 6 smileys by now. We go on to the 7th question. Name this compound. Mark the main chain carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead. So this compound, now this becomes a ketonic group, C double bond O flanked by carbon on both sides. It's a ketonic group. So the name of this compound would be a combination of the 3-methyl. 4 from the word root would be bute, saturated. We are not taking this C double bond O. Saturated means between the carbon atoms there is only single bond. So ane. At the second we have the ketonic group. So 2-one. So we will have this compound as 3-methyl butane 2-one. Did you get a smiley here? 7 smileys, 6 smileys, 5 smileys. How many did you get? But if you find yourself struggling with all these names, my advice to you would be to visit the IUPAC nomenclature first. Understand the concept from those videos. It's a set of 4 videos. Then you can always come back and answer these questions. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to attempt this question on your own. Again, you notice over here, what group have I got over here? Is it going to be 6 carbon atoms here which will be considered as the main chain, or is it these 3 carbon atoms? Do I apply the longest chain rule over here, or do I take this as the main chain because it has a functional group? Just now I gave you a hint. Remember? So 1, 2 and 3. At the second position, what substituent have we got? Yes, it's a phenyl group. So at the second position, I have phenyl. My word root is prop. It is saturated, so ane. At the first position, I have the OH group, so all. So this compound becomes 2-phenyl propan 1-all. Or if you have written your answer as 2-phenyl propanol, even that is correct because position number 1 is usually not mentioned. Understand the difference between ul and all here. All stands for the OH group. Ul stands for the aldehydic group. This is the alcoholic group. So from alcohol, all. This is the aldehyde group. So from al, I have taken Al. Right? This will help you to remember. Question number 9. Come on, try. See which one, who gets priority in your number. This is my longest chain. So do I start from left hand side or right hand side? Because are you going to treat iodo as functional group? No, it's a substituent, right? So because we're going to name it as a prefix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Go ahead and name this compound. So we get here 4-iodo because I comes before M. Right? Am I right? Did I get my alphabets right? I, J, K, L, M. Right, correct. So 4-iodo, 2, 2, 3. So 2, 2, 3. Trimethyl hexane is my compound. So we need to give 2 more smileys here for question number 8 and for structure number 9. So 9 smileys so far. This worksheet is pretty long. Why not take a short break and drink some water and come back for the next set of questions? I'll post it as a separate video, otherwise one video becomes long and boring. So see you there because we are going to talk about the next set of compounds that we've got. We are going to do question number 10. For those who don't want to take a break, please go ahead. By all means, try these questions yourself.